All right, we are ready to go racing here tonight from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm Matt Egan, joined by Jacob Young. Qualifying now underway for the FEG Big Money Monday Night Truck Series. What do you expect to see here, Jacob?
To see some great racing. It is cooler temperatures than we have seen basically all weekend when we have been basically broadcasting this race. And what I mean by that is basically the sun was out on the simulation. So now, of course, it is more overcast, and these drivers will be able to even stick to the track even more than, well, they have before. So we'll expect to see some faster lap times, as fast as, of course, these trucks can go. And maybe that will make for less tire degradation as well throughout this race.
Yeah, there is a distinct possibility of that right now. Looking at Braden Johnson, number 08 Traxxas machine. He's looking for a good run here tonight. What do you think he's going to lay down in qualifying?
Well, judging from the practice times, I'd say around the 35s or something like that. The 30.5s would probably be a good lap time.
Andrew Melvin, your current pole sitter. Not for long, though. Matthew Lee hits the top spot. Now, we saw Matthew Lee last week has just been absolutely quick. He was quick last week. Looking good here tonight. What do you think he does on track here tonight? He actually won last week, of course, at Phoenix.
Matthew Lee, well, I expect him to be in that top 5 fighting for a race win as well, just like week in and week out. He has really impressed me throughout since Daytona. So as long as he can just stick to his game plan and stay out of trouble, he'll be right up there for a chance at the win.
Well, right now, looks like he'll be 4th on the speed charts. Adam Baker is your current, now he's 2nd. Aaron Smith, your fast time to beat. Of course, I said, you had one driver go to the top, and then immediately another one knocks him off. That's how it goes here in qualifying. A lot of these drivers, very quick. They'll gain speed, and then they'll lose that speed as quick as they gained it. That's just a level of skill you have with these drivers. Look at Todd Keene right now, who appears to not be the fastest in the moment, though that might have just been his first lap. So let's see what he does on, I think this is his 2nd flying lap. He's about 3/10 off your leader. You think he improves on that?
Possibility, but normally on your first lap at Atlanta, that would be close to your quickest lap. And why I'd say that is because of, well, how much you'd be pushing on your first lap with, of course, those sticky tires. When you burn those off sometimes in the first lap, it's very tough to make up ground in that second one.
Yeah, he manages to do it. He went from 32nd to 11th. So how about that? Excuse me, how about that? Kenneth McCullough Jr. out on track as well. Now, there's a driver that's been fast, but always kind of like Josh Bonwell. Seems to have bad luck towards the end of the race. Maybe turns that around here tonight at Atlanta. We watch McCullough here going through 3 and 4. This will be the start of his first time lap. And the question is, what do you think he does with it?
Well, it's a possibility that the 03 truck, Kevin McCullough Jr., jumps out from 28th to basically in that top 15. That would be a perfect run for him, at least for the start of the race, just to be kind of in that 15th position, knowing that he's kind of in midfield and can really push at the start of the race.
We'll see what he does off of turn 4. And he'll go 17th. How about that? So pretty good run there for Kenneth McCullough Jr. And as we get ready to go into the race, let's get a word from our series sponsor here tonight.
Looking for a new PC other than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they started their sim racing journey. I searched high and low for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high-quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at fegpc.net.
All right, and that is our series title sponsor, FEG PC, some of the best custom-built PCs around, certainly the best for iRacing. If you're looking for a great deal and a great PC, look no further. How about our starting lineup, though? If you want good drivers, I'd say even the best drivers, look no further than the lot you have here tonight. Your starting lineup, well, it'll consist of David Santini and Aaron Smith, Adam Baker, Marty Porter, Brent Pryor, John Jenkins, Matthew Lee, last week's winner, Jay Felton, Josh Bonwell, Derek Fulton, Ray Jackson, Andrew Melvin, Todd Keene, Braden Johnson, Michael DeSala, Jim Westerfield, Kenneth McCullough, John Ballou, Danny Rogers, Peyton Howell, Jake Huncho, Jose Medina, Jason Huncho, Hayes Booth, James Roth, Carrion Church, Eli Warren, Michael Thwatz, Jay Dargent, Chad Ross, Jeffrey Smith, Chris Robertson, David Lindahl, Jesse Thornock, Toby Eckenberg, Paul Monrain, Robert Vormwald, Brad Bothwell, Austin Goen, Tyler Pluff, Scott Glaslow, Matthew Correa, and Jeffrey Radtake rounds out your 22-row deep field. Great group of drivers looking to go green here tonight. What do you expect to see from the initial start here, Jacob?
I think a lot of drivers will want to get single file, and we'll see that low line really come into play early in the race, and most likely later into the race runs, we'll see that outside line come into play. But for that start of the race, a lot of drivers will want to get single file, and we'll see some battling probably closer to 20th position and on back. So I do expect to see exactly that.
Well, it should be a great night of racing. I tell you what, these guys, like we said, some of the best truck drivers on iRacing. They know their way around Atlanta. It'll be interesting to see who knows the best way around Atlanta Motor Speedway. Who would be your pick there if you had to pick one driver right off the gate?
Right off the gate, I would go with Adam Baker, sits third position, and he's impressed me throughout this race week, so I would expect him to win.
All right, well, here we go. Pace car down, green flag back in the air. 100 laps of action coming at you from Atlanta Motor Speedway, a cloudy Atlanta Motor Speedway, but that should make for a great night of racing. Looks like David Santini there out and away to what should be a phenomenal start. He's got Aaron Smith in tow behind him, Adam Baker, Marty Porter, and John Jenkins in fifth. Around through 3 and 4 for the first time here tonight. Trucks getting up to full speed. Top 5 as they run at the stripe. You'll be looking for the drivers David Santini, Aaron Smith, Adam Baker, Marty Porter, and John Jenkins. That's your top 5. And you can see already a battle for second place here. And we watch this battle for second place starting to unfold. It is Aaron Smith on the bottom, Adam Baker on the top. That top lane, you know, we saw that come into play last night, the night before, but we didn't see it till late into the race. And now we're seeing it. It's fairly early on. I got to say, looks like Adam Baker making a great run at things. He actually got that pass, and he got it almost immediately.
Exactly. Very impressive from him, just trying to, I guess, work that outside line and trying to make it work for himself early. With these fresh tires, I think you are able to do exactly that. And now I really don't see him trying to push too much in the ongoing stages, because of course you just don't want to waste your tires about 4 laps in. Yes, you do want to push, but then from then on, basically, he sits in second place. There's really no need.
Yeah, that is for sure. As you said, he pushed it when he needed to, got to second. Now he can kind of take it easy. Well, take it easy being a relative term with this group of drivers, but, you know, save his tires at least a little bit.
Exactly, and when you're able to do that, it's pretty good. And an interesting thing is he's not really using that bottom line. He's still sticking the truck closer to that middle lane.
One driver using the bottom, though, that's Marty Porter. He's going for third place. Down on the bottom, does he get the spot? Yes, he does. Marty Porter up to third. It looks like John Jenkins saying, hey, you know what? I want fifth now. Or I want fourth, I should say. And he's going to the inside. Aaron Smith, he'll take the spot. I don't know if Aaron Smith, maybe he's trying to save tires, but that's 2 trucks that just got by him like nothing, like he had the anchor thrown out behind him. And look at Brent Pryor sizing him up. Looks like it might be 3 trucks.
Exactly. Probably his game plan, not really wanting to push too much as long as he stays close to that top 10. There's really no need for him to push that truck to its limit, at least just yet. 7 laps into this race, it should be interesting to see what his strategy plays out to be after the first pit stop.
Well, I was talking to drivers earlier, and you mentioned the first pit stop. We can expect that around lap 28. About 28 laps is what these guys can squeeze on fuel. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but somewhere around that mark. So that means that this will not be a one-stop race. It'll probably be more around a 3-stop race if you stay green all the way, 3 to 4 pit stops, depending on how you play that strategy.
Exactly, and
if you
that's
do
going
the
to
math.
be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because you don't see 3 pit stops a lot in, well, a race like this, especially with 100 laps. So it's going to be really fun to watch out for. And I noticed in turns 3 and 4 there is basically a hole in the clouds where it is basically the warmest part on that racetrack. The sun is kind of shining there, so it's going to be interesting to see how that can affect the drivers.
Yeah, and if you do the math on that pit stop, it actually works out to be about 3.5, you know, some crazy number. It actually, we'll take a look. Yeah, 3.571428, on and on and on. So about 3.5. So you can, I guess, like I said, you either go 3 stops, 4 stops, depending on how you save fuel, or depending on cautions. And as you mentioned, we're riding on board with John Jenkins right behind Marty Porter. You saw the sunlight in turns 3 and 4. And like you said, the entire rest of the racetrack, we got a little bit of it down the backstretch now. It looks like you're trying to get that sun to peek through about halfway down the backstretch, but a lot of it in 3 and 4. You can see
exactly
3 and 4 got a lot of light there. And that's going to make a big difference, like you said, because you touched on it. You said that's going to be the hottest part of the racetrack, and you're 100% right. And the big difference there is that track's going to heat up a lot quicker. It's going to be a lot more slick for these drivers. And probably you're going to want to make your passes on the front stretch going into 1 because it's going to be a little slick here in 3 and 4.
Exactly. Just looking at it as well. Doesn't say that the track temperature is too hot at the moment, but it just will make for some impressive racing. Just like you said, those strategy calls, it's going to be closer to actually 4 pit stops. So these drivers will be hoping for at least a couple of cautions to really maybe save some fuel and play that strategy out from then on, because it's going to be very difficult to see what happens when lap 28 comes to play.
And we got a battle for position going on. This is about 36th place. Actually, a little bit further up, rather. Excuse me about the coughing. I'm terribly sorry. But yeah, about 36th place, you see Robert Vermwald getting to the back end. Jeffrey Radtake. And Radtake started dead last here tonight. You take a look there, started 43rd. He's already up to 35th. So he's trying to work his way through the field. You think he'll be able to do that?
I think so for sure. The only problem will be, of course, he only has so much time to make it, and if it does stay green for almost the majority of this race, then that strategy of really gaining those positions is going to be tougher. So he'll have to just make sure that he's saving tires as well as trying to push and maybe gain a couple of positions every other lap or so.
Yeah, that is for sure. And right now, back to the race lead. You notice some of these drivers already starting to spread out, but the leaders are not. Look at Marty Porter having a go on David Sindini. He looked to his outside, thought better of it. He'll fall back in line, at least for the moment.
Incredible stuff right there. Yeah, he'll fall back in line, and that move's probably not going to be done. He'll probably try and get to him in 1 and 2 if, of course, Santini decides to kind of lift off, as you see him peek into that inside line, and now, of course, almost a battle for 3rd place.
Yeah, that is for sure. John Jenkins looking for that spot. Well, actually looking for 2nd, but Adam Baker is looking for 3rd. We had one, that was Aaron Smith. Looks like he just tagged the wall. Or it might have been Baker that actually got the wall. As you see that 48 truck starting to fall back. And what else do you notice? That sunlight is getting a lot more intense in 3 and 4.
Exactly. You think a mile and a half wouldn't be too much for it to shine basically on the whole track if the sun were to peak out. But it just shows how big this racetrack at Atlanta Motor Speedway is for it only to shine on turns 3 and 4. And yeah, going back to Adam Baker, shocking, kind of hitting the wall, and of course now falling back, and that could also be because of his tires. Maybe he wants to save something for the end of this stint to maybe go longer than these other drivers and maybe hit a caution and hit that jackpot for a good position.
Well, Baker's got damage down, you notice. If you notice Adam Baker, look at him through 1 and 2. Look at the right side of his truck there, Jacob. You can see a little bit of his fenders a little bit pushed in. And I wonder if that's lending to the fact that his truck's a bit slow. You notice Josh Bonwell now on the inside, trying to get by Adam Baker. He'll run the middle line through 3 and 4 now. He can't get to the bottom.
It's one thing that Adam Baker was successful at the start of this race, was really running that high line. He won't be able to keep that position though, as he will lose it to, if I'm not mistaken, to Jay Felton there. So interesting turn of events.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting to see how it all plays out. You see Baker trying to slide in line here. He'll fall in behind Todd Keene. Right around 9th place now, 20 laps into the race. We're closing in on the pit window. When do you think we see trucks start to hit the box?
Said about 28 laps or so. I would believe around that time they want to extend it as long as possible to really limit the opportunity of having to make an extra stop that they wouldn't necessarily need unless a caution were to fall. So as long as they can hold it out, they'll probably stay out and hope for the best from then on.
"21 laps in now, and you see Marty Porter goes for 2nd, but John Jenkins gonna hold him off through 3 and 4. Yes, he does. Now, one driver I want to touch on. You look at Matthew Lee. He won last week at Phoenix, right? Now he runs 4th. He's shown that he has the discipline to run the short tracks, you think he has that same kind of thing to run the bigger tracks? And I'm going to say yes, in my opinion, because to me, those small racetracks are a little bit harder than these with the way you have to manage your tires there, and especially the pit strategy there, because you pit there, you're guaranteed to go lap down. Here, you might be able to stay on the lead lap.
I would definitely agree with you that he has that discipline, and especially just saving those tires, so he knows exactly what he needs to do throughout this whole entire race with this strategy. And yes, Atlanta is the toughest surface, the most abrasive surface on any race car or race truck that races here, especially on the 1.5 miles. So you expect really for it to be difficult to save that much as like Phoenix. But I would expect him to really be able to stay that same way and continue it on.
Yeah, that is for sure. And right now, you see David Santini still holds on to the race lead. He's led for 15 laps here tonight, so he's not led for every lap, but he's had it for quite a bit recently. You notice everyone else, unlike last night, we see everyone getting really far and spread out. And it's pretty interesting to see how that all plays out. Again, terribly sorry about the cough. I have some sort of cold or seasonal allergies. I kind of get it every once in a while, so bear with me through it. Anyway, Derek Fulton, what do you think about him? Car number 94. He started 10th, run 7th. I love the paint scheme on it, but he's got to make some headway. He's not really doing that. Kind of staying right about where he started.
Well, I mean, he's in 7th position, though. Yes, he isn't making any headway that much, as I believe he will go up to 6th place now because of drivers starting to pit for tires. But I would expect him to just stick with it, and he's in a top 10 position. And as long as you kind of are in that for a long time in a race like this, you should be okay to really fight for a race lead. He could also be saving some tires too.
Yeah, that is for sure. And you can see David Santini leading the way still. Now, my prediction is I think he's going to start the pit cycle. I don't know why I say that, because usually the leader never does. Usually the leader's like the 3rd or 4th guy in. But I just have that feeling tonight that we see Santini start it out. I feel like this might turn into follow the leader.
Could be a possibility of like that, or we could see Josh Bonwell. He sits in 4th position. He could also decide to go down pit lane early and hope that he will gain that same track position that he basically would come into pit with. So it could be 5th place, it could be 4th, it could be, of course, 3rd, 2nd, or 1st. That comes down pit lane first. But as we all know, normally it's not the leader who goes down pit lane.
Yeah, that is very true, and it'll hold true. Looks like John Jenkins, might have started the pitting cycle here as he hits the box in that number 7 super clean Chevy Silverado. And what a time to pit. Caution flag flies. Jose Medina.
Tell you one person who is thrilled about that caution, and that is none other than Derek Fulton. He spun
in his pit box. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what happened to Medina. Looks like goes through the grass, gets it back onto the speedway. Well, looks like he lost control. Oh, man, look at how close that one truck was. I didn't quite see who that was, but yeah, Derek Fulton, you mentioned that 94 truck, and yeah, what happened to him? He wasn't the only one to spin it out coming into pit lane, too. But looks like Fulton just locked it up. Yeah, locked it up, and boop. So, as you said, yeah, he's probably pretty happy about that turn of events, but it is David Santini leading them down to pit lane. Of course, the 7 stays out. We'll be right back on the American Sim Network. Don't go anywhere. Green Flag Racing returns.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they start their sim racing journey, so I searched high and low for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at FEGPC.net. Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they start their sim racing journey, so I searched high and low for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at FEGPC.net. Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no
Jacob Young going to get us with the green flag here. We'll be going green 34 laps into this race.
Exactly 34 laps into this race. You'll have David Santini leading us to the green flag, but then of course you'll have Jay Felton right beside him, so that will be an interesting restart for sure. That outside line for some drivers has been able to take effect, especially on restart, so it'll be interesting to see what Jay Felton has to give him as the pace car leaves down pit lane now, and it's back racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Santini got a great restart there. Danny Rogers out and away behind him. And Rogers battling for second with Jay Felton. Can he clear him through 3 and 4? Yeah, he does.
And one thing that's one of the most frustrating things when a driver gets stuck on the high side because, well, you can't do anything about it as you're just going to get passed constantly because, of course, that fast line would be on the inside. So looks like Jay Felton's going to jump back to at least 5th place.
Yeah, he's trying to hang on to what he can, but yeah, you're right. He'll be, well, right now 4th. If Melvin gets by him, that'll be 5th. But yeah, that outside line, not the place to be in on the initial start, although we saw Aaron Smith make it work incredibly well. It was pretty surprising, though, at least to me, how well Aaron Smith made it work. I don't know about you.
It was pretty impressive seeing the way that he was able to make it work, but, well, of course, he was only able to make it work for so long. So it'll be interesting to see if any other driver really tries that strategy and can continue to just run it up high. We talked about it too. Baker tried that high line and actually tagged the wall. So that is, of course, the danger of running up there.
And you can see here, as we'll take a look a little further back, you got Braden Johnson trying to defend from Hayes Booth. And he does not successfully defend. He actually, I think, might have let Hayes by. Braden probably wanted to get to the inside line, said, hey, easy shot to do it. Now he can focus on saving tires and not losing that top 10 spot.
Exactly, and sometimes it can work into your favor for sure, and just kind of saving your tires, staying in that top 10 position, exactly what drivers want to do, as we see another driver actually up front. I'll try to get you their name, but they're on the outside trying to run that outside line. It looks like it was working well for them in 3 and 4.
And that is, I think that's Adam Baker, actually, but I don't think he's on the lead lap. And we got another caution flag flying. It looks like, who was it this time? Brad Bothwell has planted himself into the wall. He's trying to get some Crown Royal. Well, he got to the billboard. Looks like he made contact with the 19, Peyton Howell. And yeah, that thing got stuck. And it got stuck in a bad way. He'll unfortunately have to get a tow if there's any truck to even recover. I think he lost the motor in that one. What about you?
I think his day is done for at least trying to stay on the lead lap and bringing it back to pit lane. Does not look too good. But of course, we've seen crazier things from iRacing too, so who knows?
Yeah, that is for sure. Well, any driver you want to talk to here as we get ready to rock around under caution for a little bit?
Let's go with, I think, Andrew Melvin, if possible. Sits in 5th position.
Well, we'll find Melvin if we can. And yes, we can. I'll let you talk to him. Take it away.
All right. Andrew Melvin, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Doing pretty good as well. So, of course, 40 laps into this race, how's the truck feeling for you?
It's pretty good. It's getting tight off. Turn 2 is definitely giving some guys some trouble, but I think overall the truck feels pretty good.
Awesome. And so, well, of course, what's your strategy heading into the later stages of this race now that you've had about close to 2 pit stops?
Yeah, I think it all depends on if we keep getting cautions or not. I think that's really going to be the big game changer. If we can run it green till the end, I mean, we only need one more stop to make it, so it's just going to be dictated by the cautions if we get any more.
All right, sounds good. Any shout-outs that you would like to give before we let you go?
Just to you guys and all the guys, everyone that's watching, we appreciate it, and tune in for a good race.
All right, thank you for talking to us. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you once again in 3rd place or even victory lane.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll let you get back down with your team there. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Well, what do you expect in the next run? Hopefully a little bit of a longer one, but as they say, cautions do breed cautions.
Exactly. Probably a lot of drivers will trying to stick it to the inside line. It just seems like it's still the fastest line. And of course, we'll see them saving some tires and maybe some fuel. As we heard Andrew Melvin say, they only need one more stop, whether it goes green or goes yellow. So it looks like it could be a shot to the finish.
That is for sure. It would be, again, I'm terribly sorry about that. It would be incredibly exciting to see how that all plays out. If that becomes the case. Now, I got a feeling that we're still going to have 2 pit stops because I got a feeling there's going to be one more caution. I don't see us going green to the end. Do you?
I think it is a possibility. I would see maybe one more caution as well closer to the end of this race, probably with 10 laps or so to go. So it's very possible that we could see a caution flag with 10 laps or so to go.
And we'll see how it all plays out. Trucks are now gonna double them up. With David Santini having your pole position, not a surprise there. He has led now almost half this race, 33 laps. How much longer do you think he holds on to that lead? I got a feeling that we're going to see maybe not Jay Felton, but I think maybe Danny Rogers on that outside lane, that 32 machine. I got a feeling he's got something for him.
Very possible that he could have something for David Santini, as of course Santini has been the more dominant truck in this early going. We'll have to wait and see on the restart, but also Jake Hunchill, don't count him out, as he's in 3rd place. He could push none other than David Santini kind of to the race lead on the low line, and we'll then hang out with him and try and make a pass of his own.
Well, I'll let you get the green here. They'll go off of 3 and 4. We'll see just how it all plays out.
Sounds great. It's a pace car moments away from going down into pit lane. There it goes. David Santini decides to hit the loud pedal, and we're back racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Great restart there for Santini. Out and away. That's exactly what he needed.
Everybody else in the dust. How about that?
Yeah, that was about perfect right there for David Santini. Jake Hunchell now in 2nd place, right across the nose. That was a risky move there. I don't know if you saw that, but I mean that was maybe inches away from just. That was a little risky there. I don't know how I feel about that, you know.
Exactly. Any time that you do cut across somebody's nose, it always would be risky because you don't know whether or not they can lift off in time, or will they stay on the throttle. It's happened to me before, and where a driver has basically cut my nose off and I couldn't do anything. I tried to slow down, but clipped them. So you always have that risk when you do that move.
Yeah, you see that pass for, what is that? I think Andrew Melvin getting by Danny Rogers there. That's for 4th. So Melvin, who we just talked to, gaining ground. Jake Hunchell looks like he might be gaining the lead. We're almost at the halfway mark, so I got a feeling whoever might have the lead at the halfway mark, I think they might control the tempo of the race, and that's kind of the biggest thing right there, is just, you know, you want to control the beat of the race, because if you have that, you kind of got things down good. And right now, that's Santini. Drivers are kind of following him, following the line he takes. Watch Huncho, kind of goes right where Santini goes, and we got a big crash.
I think it was a 24 truck that got spun around.
Yeah, that would have been Eli Warren in that 24. And it was. He got tagged by the 88. Braden Johnson barely got through it. Looks like the 7 got tagged. Aaron Smith might have got caught up. I see one driver going the wrong way down a one-way street, but actually he's going the right way down the one-way street, but he's going backwards. That is Jay Dargent. What happened to him? Looks like Jay, he got turned around and he said, you know what, I'm going to go with it. Kept speed. That's what you got to do. Paul Munrain got a piece of it. See one truck throwing out smoke. And that is, who is that? That is stopped on the bottom, the 49. Jason Hunshell. So pretty big crash there to get things kicked off as we get ready to go halfway in this race. David Santini leads him down pit lane. Who do you think's going to come out first?
Very possible that, well, I think anybody that's not in that first pit stop, it's very possible that is the case just due to the fact of, well, it could also be a big race off pit road when that happens.
And you can see Santini in. Looks like everyone going for 4 tires and fuel. He'll be the first one off. Race for second. It is going to be Jake Hunshell. Jay Felton came out third. Andrew Melvin fourth. We'll be right back here on ASN. Back live, and I'll get you at the green here. It is Brent Pryor looking to bring us down. Pryor, did he stay out, Jacob? Because I think he did.
I think he did as well. Very good possibility, so that will be an interesting restart if that is the case. Due to the fact, well, as we've seen it before, old tires versus new tires, a huge difference as the pace cars end.
Well, we don't have a lot of racing left. Green flag, just under 50 laps to go now. And it is side by side. David Santini looking for that lead. Santini trying to hold him, but Pryor's already gapping him through the corner, and I think down the backstretch, that'll be the nail in that as they look 3 wide for the moment. Looks like Jake Hunshell down on the bottom. This is where things get really risky. If they wreck up here, that could spell disaster for the entire field. They are 3 wide through 3 and 4. Pryor down on the middle, and it is Santini up top, but Santini leads that lap. That's his 40th of the night.
How about that right there? Santini taking the lead right back to it. Jake Hunshell in second place. Brent Pryor, of course, third place for the time being. But as we expected it, just, wow, what racing. We're talking about going 3 wide. It's not the right time to go 3 wide, but sometimes when there's a slower truck or car in front of you, you really want to make that pass as fast as possible.
Yeah, on the list of things I would have expected to work, that is not high up on it. I was not expecting to see 3 wide racing. I was not expecting to see it work the way it did, because that's a high-risk situation at any track, but especially at a racetrack like this. See here, it is still a pretty aggressive battle for the lead. Jake Hunshell, now what? I think that's his 2nd lap of the night, led if he had that lap, and yes, he did. So that's 2 laps there, so pretty good run for Jake Hunshell. And they are crashing. It is Santini and Jake. They are down on the apron, no caution. Man, oh man, could you have predicted that, Jacob? There's the caution.
Like not as the caution flag finally does fly, I think, for a totally different wreck, though.
Well, here's a replay of the first crash. Looks like Jake got loose, got into Santini. You say a different incident might have spurred on that caution. If so, what was the different incident?
A lot of smoke after, of course, the wreck further up the field, closer to 3 and 4, so could have been cars getting into it.
Nah, I think it was that incident. I don't see any other trucks standing out as a wreck truck. No, it definitely had to have been that crash. But, wow, there goes, 2 of the fastest trucks of the night? Not saying they're out of it completely, but that's definitely going to put a pretty big damper in their plans. Santini didn't get a lot of damage, which is good for David. You look at his truck, and he's got a little bit on his left rear quarter panel, or left rear bumper, but you look at the front of that truck, he looks pretty good,
Exactly, it does look pretty good indeed. But, of course, just, I guess, hard racing. Sometimes you get loose, and, yeah, that will put, for sure, a big hole for him. He'll have to come back from adversity here in this race.
Well, it looks like Santini going to have a lot of a harder time. He missed his box there. Josh Ballou, your race leader, or John Ballou, your race leader. We'll be right back. And we're back live. Jacob Young gonna get you with the green here. About 40 laps to go.
Not a lot of racing remaining here in this one. I cannot wait for this restart as, of course, John Ballou to the green. Moments away. Pace car rolls down. And there we go. We're back racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, good restart there from Ballou. That is what he needed. And he got away. I mean, that was a really fantastic start. And they're beating and banging for second. Brent Pryor, Andrew Melvin. Oh, boy, I tell you what. This is where things get a bit risky.
3 wide. He's able to get back into 2 wide and go on that outside line. So Melvin will leave a couple of positions there. But talk about that restart from John Ballou. Just being able to stay patient and continue his run up front.
And you can see here side by side, Brent Pryor is falling back. I don't know if it's intentional, but I got a feeling he got banged around pretty good there. So he might have said, you know what, things are a little bit crazy here. I still got 40 laps. I want my truck in one piece at the end of those 40 laps. So he might be taking it back to probably around 10th place. Maybe that's where might be a little bit more secure.
Exactly. And you talk about it. Every position matters here in this series. But at that same time, to get those points, you have to first finish the race as they are wrecking behind.
Oh, man, it's happening. Josh Bonwell on the list of drivers that can't catch a break. He's probably at the top of it. And you can see here, the wreck did not start with him. He had nowhere to go. It got into the 10, I believe, that Robert Vermwald there. Jeffrey Ford got into it there, that 95. So Vermwald here off of 2. Looks like he got tagged by the Carolina Nut 31, Todd Keene. And then, yeah, Jeff Ford, or Jeffrey Smith, I'm sorry, the 95 got a piece of it there. And yeah, watch Jeff Smith here. He tries to go low, just right into Vermwald's side. 88 truck did a good piece of getting away from it. That was David Lindahl. And we'll ride on board Lindahl here. And yeah, you can see David Lindahl tries to get through it, and he does. Looks like Marty Porter got tagged in it as well in front of him, but Lindahl gets through with no damage, exactly what he needed. But, man, could you have predicted that happening?
I think we kind of could see it coming from the start. And yeah, you talked about it. You said, well, they're beating and banging, and almost instantly right after that, we saw that caution. So really, it was coming.
And you see Brent Pryor, your race leader, and you gotta say, that beating and banging only gonna get more intense with 37 laps to go. Well, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Green Flag Racing will return.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they start their sim racing journey. I searched high and low for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at FEGPC.net. Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they start their sim racing journey. I searched high and low for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can
So as we're going one lap to green here, what do you expect to happen next here, Jacob? I'll let you get the green again, but what is your gut instinct as to what happens here?
I think a little more of the same. Just really hard racing drivers trying to get up front as fast as possible. Yes, there is still close to 30 laps remaining, but you're just talking about it, and we've already seen it, how much these drivers want every single position. So I expect a couple more three-wide racing and some really great battling going on for maybe even that high line coming into play too.
And that is for sure. And of course the question remains, how many more pit stops do they make? I think one more and that'll do it.
Exactly, especially for fresh tires. That's really why they've started to come down pit lane after every single chance they get now. Well, pace car is down and away, and we are back racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Look at that start. Driver in the grass.
Brent Pryor got out and away pretty nicely, side by side behind him. Peyton Howell starting to move his way up through the field, at least he's trying to. Not a lot of racing left for him to do, so only about 34 laps.
Peyton Howell looking pretty good as well. I get to race with him sometimes in the NASCAR NIS series, so it's very fun to practice with that driver. As well as, of course, he is up into third position, looking really good, having an opportunity maybe to even take this one away.
Yeah, 3 wide. Actually, that might have been 4 wide for a second. I saw, who was that? Danny Rogers got caught up the middle there in that number 1 Pilot Flying J truck. And you can see he's just trying to shuffle himself around, trying to get back up into the top 5. You know, he was running for the lead earlier, so I got a feeling if he can get up there, he might have a chance of winning the race.
A very great chance of winning the race indeed if he does get up there. Because, well, you're in that top 5 position, and how close these drivers have been in that top 5, where you could basically throw a blanket around them. Well, never say die there.
Yeah, right now about 70 laps in, this time in, and you can see, look at Andrew Melvin. And I said, you know, we'd see the high line at the end. You see Melvin trying to work it. Brent Pryor just tagged the wall. He got it hard. So Melvin will have to go to the bottom, but you saw it the lap before. You think Melvin will be able to work that top lane?
Very possible for Andrew Melvin. He's still up there in 5th position. He did lose some momentum, but a very good opportunity for him to start to gain back those spots that he kind of lost.
See here, side by side still, Peyton Howell. I mean, that was a close call there with Melvin. Again, I don't know if you saw that, but Danny Rogers was that. No, that was Melvin. But you saw, I mean, he was maybe inches away from tagging his fuel, his quarter panel.
Exactly, and it's a strange thing where you feel like you've entered the corner perfectly, you actually haven't, and you go in just a little too deep, and the truck, of course, wants to just float up that racetrack. That's kind of what happened to him, so he had to get out of that throttle, losing a little bit of momentum, but still really wanting to work that outside line, which is very impressive to me.
Yeah, side by side, a little bit further back, Brent Pryor trying to hold on to the ground that he can, but he looks like he's having a bit of a hard time doing it. And I think the only reason for that is he tagged the wall. He might have a little bit of aero damage. Doesn't look like it, but there might be a crinkle there by the right front.
Very close to having maybe something of that sort, but look at that. Melvin back up to second place now.
Andrew Melvin, and we talked to him earlier. He is fast. He had a good chance, or thinks that he has a good chance to win this race. What do you think?
Very great chance to win this race. He's up in second place. Really hasn't been out of the top 5 for most of this race as well. And, well, he also got lucky with avoiding a couple of wrecks too, which has been a major, well, just a major thing of this race too, especially later in this one was 75 laps complete.
And right now, Jay Felton is your race leader. Update on David Santini. Remember, he was caught up in that wreck. I would imagine he probably got more damage than we estimated. He is getting ready to go 5 laps down. And I would imagine when he hit the wall, remember, he hit it head on. He probably got got engine damage. Would have to be my guess. What would your bet be? That's my bet, because we saw him tag the wall. He probably got engine damage that we didn't account for.
And also the truck getting really tight, especially if you just hit the wall. You constantly scrape the wall. It just almost makes the truck sometimes undrivable, especially with the fixed setup here. It's just, well, you're battling the truck all throughout the race, and when the tires kind of give way, the truck gets tighter, and just everything like that can probably bring problems and just slows down your truck.
Yeah, that is for sure. That's a very good point there, too. If he's getting tight, that'll scrub speed as well. But I wouldn't imagine that scrubbing as much speed as he's lost there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you state, basically, he has to make sure that he just runs his own race from here on out, because that's really all you can do.
Yeah, right now, Jay Felton leading over teammate Andrew Melvin. Now, them being teammates, you think that's going to affect the way they race each other?
Could be, but we have seen in this league as well, even though you're teammates, you still want to battle each other trying to get that race win. So, of course, as long as they finish in one piece, both of them finish in one piece, I think it will be successful. Now, of course, it could be once the last lap hits, they'll go for broke.
Yeah, that is possible. Now, here's the $1 million question. If we stay green, do you think, excuse me again, so I'm sorry. Do you think they'll have to pit before the end of the race?
We stay green. I don't think so, because of those 2 extra caution flags that we had. There's a possibility that they'll make it A, on fuel, and B, well, they'll just have to make it with worn out tires.
Yeah, right now 19 laps to go here at the stripe. Look at this. Peyton Howell dives down to Kenneth McCullough Jr. You know, we talked about Kenneth. We said he's had a bit of bad luck recently. He's looking for a good run here tonight. Well, he started 17th. He's up to 6th, a potential top 5. finish here tonight. What do you think of that, if he can pull that off?
Well, it's absolutely outstanding. Like we said, he's had some bad luck. And, well, once you get rolling, basically you have that momentum, you feel good. And so it just helps your confidence level boost a ton, especially most likely heading into Homestead and Texas. And just absolutely exciting for that driver. And hopefully his luck and also skill can continue, and maybe he can pull off this top 5 here.
Yeah, right now 18, count them on 18 fingers, I guess, laps to go. And these 3 drivers, it is Kenneth McCullough Jr., Peyton, and then Lee. They are all right under that kind of blanket. So it's a pretty tight battle to be in right now. And I think that's going to be the problem here. That might bring out another caution.
For now, we stay green, so it looks like it probably won't.
We got one driver, that's Scott Glaslow. He was falling back for a minute there. Back there, 21st position. Looks like he'll lose ground to Chris Robertson. I don't know if he's running out of gas or trying to save fuel. That is a potential there. He potentially might be trying to save fuel.
Now, some of these drivers might not have been filling their trucks up to the full point of, well, the gas tank, which is about 18.5 gallons, if I'm not mistaken, for iRacing. They could have been filling them up to like 15 or 13. So there is a possibility that that's why trucks are having to come down pit lane to fill up maybe one last time, as we are seeing a lot of trucks going down pit lane.
Yeah, well, I would imagine most drivers, you see, we're watching Aaron Smith right now. I see Peyton Howell as well. You know, I would imagine most drivers not able to make it to the end of the race on fuel. I'd be amazed if they can, because we went green with, what, 28 or almost 30 laps to go. And these guys can only make it about 28 laps on gas. I feel like it's just too much racing left.
And you're probably right on that. So, yes, most likely one last pit stop, which means, well, if you're taking fuel, most likely, especially at this racetrack, you're going to take 4 tires as well. That would be the smart and probably winning strategy for these guys, as we'll probably see Jay Felton go into pit lane in a couple of laps.
Yeah, we went green with actually about 35 laps to go, so, I mean, unless they're stretching it infinitely, I mean, I don't see any way they're making it on fuel. Matthew Lee down pit lane, Jake Hunchell as well. So when do you think that 11 hits the box?
Oh, I mean, Jay Felton, it all depends on what he does. Yes, he can't make it on fuel, but he could probably stretch it for as much as he can, which means if the truck is saying, or the spotter's saying, about 5 laps of fuel remaining, or 3, or we're just about to be low on fuel, he's probably checking it and making sure that he can make it at that right time, go with about 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Yeah, it's just 12. 12 laps to go here, as Jay Felton now hits the pit box. So Felton down pit lane, do you think that he has a good stop? This stop either makes or breaks him.
Exactly. It looks like he got into his pit box and also pit lane fine. So it doesn't seem like any complications there.
Only a 2-tire change.
13.5.
Only a 2-tire change. I don't know if you saw that right there.
That makes sense for a little bit of a quicker pit stop. Of course, it has to be right sides. And now he'll have to get used to driving that truck with just 2 tires that are fresher than the other 2. it does take, well, it does take a little getting used to, because the truck now will want to slide out, especially on the back
Caution.
end, and that's going to be a caution.
Man, oh man, could you have predicted that? I think Adam Baker was your cause, as Adam Baker was coming off of pit lane. Tries to, oh, Peyton Howell spun out. Collides with Adam Baker. There's your caution. Well, we won't interview anyone. We'll let these drivers focus. We will be right back. 9 laps, count them on 9 fingers to go in the FEGPC.net Big Money Monday Night Truck Series. Coronavirus can't stop us. An exciting finish is just moments away. It may be the last restart of the night. And Jacob Young will call it as we get ready to go racing. I'll let you get the green here, Jacob.
Awesome, awesome. Cannot wait for this restart indeed, as it looks like Chad Ross will have the inside line with Paul Mulrain on that outside. So it should be an exceptional restart as a pace car moments away from diving down pit lane. There it goes, and we are back racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. What a great restart on the inside, as we already have a truck in the grass.
Oh boy, hopefully they keep it green. And you can see here, Chad Ross holds the lead. Paul Mulrain, second place. This got to be one of the best races for Paul Mulrain. We have not talked about him at all here tonight. But here he is, second place. 53rd in the point standings. Average finish, 37th. The highest finish he has had this season. Take a guess what it was, Jacob.
I would say probably 20.
34th at Daytona. I'll tell you what, this tonight, if he can hang on for 3 more laps, that'll shoot that right out of the water.
Exactly. And it's been a crazy top 10. It's switched time and time again so far. And, well, just very impressive racing from everybody.
Like I said, out of, 60 drivers that are listed in the point standings, he is 53rd. But I would imagine after a second place finish, if he hangs on for count 'em 2 more laps, I mean that'll change a lot for him.
Exactly. I bet you he's trying for that race win, but at the moment, Chad Ross just has too big of a lead. And we're talking about a very small lead, close to 2/10.
Look at Chris Robertson. If he gets a 3rd place, that'll be his best finish. Chris Robertson's previous best finish in the 3 races this season, 21st at Las Vegas. He did not qualify for Phoenix, so he did not race at Phoenix, but Chris Robertson, 21st at Las Vegas. Looks like he'll shoot that out of the water tonight as well, even if he doesn't get 3rd. Off of turn number 4 for the last time, it will be Chad Ross to go to victory lane. Paul Mulrain 2nd, Danny Rogers 3rd, Chris Robertson 4th. So that was that 2nd place finish with a season best finish. Chad Robertson with the season best finish as well. Matthew Correa, Kenneth McCullough Jr., Scott Glaslow, Derek Fulton, Michael DeSala, Brent Pryor, Jeffrey Radtake, Matthew Lee, Hunchell, Felton, Booth, Jenkins, and the rest of the drivers scrolling across at the top of your screen. What a finish. I tell you, could you have predicted this?
Not at all. I mean, that whole top 5.
I think this might be Chad Ross's best finish. Well, obviously, the win is the best finish, but yeah, Chad Ross's previous high finish was 11th place at Las Vegas, averaged 24th place prior to that. His finish last week at Phoenix was 40th, so talk about a rebound. So I think we got a whole, top 10 of drivers that have had a bad season so far. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. You know what I mean?
Just had a slow start, really.
Yeah. I'm just saying that looking at the stats, they've had a slow start to 2020, but as we get into week 5 of, the 36-week season, they're really kicking it off, and they're kicking it off in a big way. We'll start talking to some of these drivers. We'll get these guys up in here. Chad Ross, of course, your race winner if we can find him. I know he's somewhere around. Where is he? Do you see him? Because I actually don't. I would assume James Roth. Is that him? Is this Chad Ross, or have we got the wrong driver up here?
You got the wrong guy.
My bad. All right, so that was not him. Man, I hate to say it, but I don't think we have Chad Ross. I don't see him, do you?
I do not see him.
I see Danny Rogers, and I see Paul Munrain. We'll get Paul Munrain. I'll get a word in with him. I'll let you get Danny Rogers. So we'll get Paul here. Paul, have you got a copy on me? Truck number 55, do you copy? Paul Munrain, are you there? Going once.
Yes, sir.
All right, there we go. We got you now. All right, well, you were coming in tonight, 53rd place in the point standings, and your previous best finish was 34th. Now you go second place here. How's that one feel?
It's been just been a lot of bad luck. Just haven't been able to finish.
How'd she run here tonight for you, and how'd she run here tonight for you at the Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Ran good. Got in the jingle earlier, but other than that, we just made up our 2 laps and then just kept digging.
Now, coming into tonight, did you expect the second place finish? What were you expecting coming into it?
I've been fast all week, and it's just messed up my qualifying lap, and I just had to dig out of a hole.
All right. Well, anyone you want to thank? Sponsors, that kind of thing?
Just DE Designs. They make all my stickers for the real race car, and haven't been able to finish. Other than that,
all right. Well, thanks for talking to us, man, and great job on the second place finish. Hope to see you in Victory Lane real soon.
thank you very much.
All right, and we'll get Jacob Young with race winner Chad Ross.
All right, Chad Ross, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Doing fantastic as well. What a race you all put on tonight. Just, I guess, to start off, how was the car feeling?
Just like everybody else's, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I seemed to do a little better once the tires got worn, and I kind of had a strategy going for that. And then there at the end, it was just a matter of betting if there was going to be a caution or not. So I said, yeah, I bet there's going to be one. So I'm going to run the thing out, and then I was just going to do 2 tires there with like 5 to go. And then as soon as I got the lead, the caution came out.
Exactly. So I guess talk us through that last restart there.
Really, it's just a matter of getting a good launch and holding the bottom. I was able to keep it. I guess with the clean air, I was just barely having to lift a little bit in the corners. So just kept watching that guy behind me, and he wasn't getting any bigger in the mirror. So I knew if I didn't screw it up, I was gonna actually win one of these.
Well, how will this momentum help you for next week?
You know what? It's probably a great time because we're going to Homestead next week, and that's actually the last time I talked to you guys. And I got beat by fuel mileage on that one and ended up 3rd. So it's one of my best tracks. So hopefully we'll have another good run.
All right. Anyone that you'd like to thank, sponsors, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I'll thank Dale Jr.'s Dirty Mo Media for being on my truck, and thanks for Jeff for putting this on.
All right. Well, congratulations on winning, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you next week as well.
I hope so. We'll see you then.
All right, and last up on the interview block, Danny Rogers, if you got a copy of me.
Yes, sir. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing great. How are you? 3rd place, man. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, man, I kind of got confused there on the round of pit stops. I took the lead, And what I did when I came down pit road, I took 2 tires. Well, as soon as I was about middle halfway down the pits, the caution come out. So I went around a lap and it showed I was in second, but I only took 2 tires. So since I was showing in second, I came down pit road again to get 4 fresh tires, and that kind of screwed me up. I had to come from 6th to battle back to 3rd.
And man, that is awesome to see you get back to 3rd place. What were you expecting coming into the race here tonight?
Just try to keep the tires for the long run. Just be smooth, consistent, hit my marks. Just try to put as little wheel in it as possible, not to burn the right front off of it. I had to start in 19th, so I had to crawl my way up to the front. But I got to the top 10 within, I think, the first 15, 20 laps. And once I got the top 10, I could get to the top 5. And then at one point, I was up to 2nd, chasing the leader down.
All right. Well, anyone you want to thank, sponsors, that kind of thing?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank Jeff for putting on this big money league, and also to you guys. Y'all do an awesome broadcast. I want to thank my teammates with Momentum Sim Racing. John Jenkins is my teammate. He had some bad luck tonight, but I want to thank my other teammates, part of our team. So thank you very much, guys.
All right, thanks for talking to us, man. Great job on 3rd place finish. Hope everyone out there enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We will catch you all next week for had to think about what track we're going to. We follow the real schedule, so Homestead, Miami. I was about to say we follow the real schedule if the real schedule wasn't shut down. So, hey, if you miss real racing, stay tuned to ASN. We'll see y'all next week.